maybe I can elaborate on the story of where I lived in my car for 3 days. Honestly, that part of my life, it like blacked out. I didn't even remember that happened until Ludwig was talking about how, like, being homeless. And I was like, oh, well, I came pretty close to that. I was living in my car. It was on campus. I just didn't have anywhere to go at that time. So after, I mean, my friend kind of adopted me. She was like, hey, you can live with me. And I was like, yay. And so I, was saved. But it was really terrifying because I lived on my car and my car was on campus. And it was really cold that night, like awfully cold because it was during the winter. So cars could get really cold inside, and I had 2 blankets. And okay, the worst part was that I had Nabi with me. And so, like, I would give all my blankets to Nabi because I didn't want him to be cold. Like, the thought of him being cold, like, would make me, like, really sad and, like, tear up. And, like, if I see him shiver, I'll just, like, I took my other blankets and I would wrap him up. And I'd be like, it's okay. Like, I know I'm going to be okay, but, like, Nabi can't tell me if he's okay or not. So I'm just going to make sure he's okay. And he's, like, in the passenger seat. Oh, God. Oof. Don't tear up. But then, yeah. Good times. That happened. Nabi's just so precious, you know what I mean? Like, I'd give him everything. But back then, I would live on, like, paycheck to paycheck because I used to work at a doctor's office. And they were really nice enough to let me work remotely, too, at the time. So, like, during break, I'd be working on my little laptop. Oh, the little money I had, I'd split it between me and Nabi. So, yeah. That's why he means the world to me. He's been through a lot with me, honestly. He's an absolute little angel. I feel like I got him at the perfect moment in my life. Because I was, like, really sad back in the good old days. Like, really sad. And then, usually, you know, maybe giving a really sad kid the responsibility of taking care of a pet is too much. But I'm still very grateful that my parents at least, like, I don't want to say they let me, because I actually got Nabi secretly. I didn't even ask for permission, but I'm glad that my parents let me keep him. Because they could have just told me, no, you, like, get rid of this dog. And that would have been really sad. So, yeah, I kind of just got him. And then I messaged my cousin at the time, because he was the only one that was able to drive. And I was like, please, can you drive me 3 hours to get this dog? I swear, he needs me and I need him. And then when I came back, my mom was freaking out. She was like, no. What do you mean you got another dog? I was like, yeah, but look how cute he is. Okay, he actually would fit in just right here like this because he was so small. Nabi is your second dog? Yeah. I have another dog. His name is Mocha. And he actually is similar to Bimbis. Like, they're, I think, the same type of breed. But he's with my parents because my parents wanted to keep him. Actually, Nabi and Mocha got along really well. Well, Nabi was a bully. Back in his day, back in Nabi's prime age, Nabi was rabid. Okay, he'd go crazy. He'd jump around. He'd start beating up Mocha, give him the good old 1-2, and I would have to save Mocha, and I'd be like, no, stop. His barks were different back then. He sounded like a dog, believe it or not. He isn't a baby still. He's still a baby, but he's, he's 10. Whenever I would travel, like, overseas with my cousins or anyone, Nabi would just wait for me at the front door, sleeping there forever. He would just wait. And my mom would send me pictures, and he's like, he's waiting for you.
Let's get ready, everybody.
I'm like, oh, my poor little lad. It's so sad. Now that he's old, I almost don't want to, I don't want to travel. Like, I'm scared to travel. Like, I'm so needy now. Like, even if I go out, and people are like, hey, you want to come over and hang out? I'm like, yeah, I'm down to hang out. But after a certain amount of time has passed, I just can't stop thinking about him. I'm like, I have to go back to Nabi. I gotta go back. I have to. So I know my roommates are traveling, and I said I would go, but at the same time, a part of me like wants to stay with him because like he's just so old now, and you just never know. Like I think I would regret it so much more if I didn't spend time with him versus traveling with friends when I could always do that the year after or anything like that. So I'm still contemplating on a lot of things. I know. If I think about it, I just get so emotional. He's just my little lad, my little sweet boy.